find out. Don't press that like button while you're there.
What's up? Champ, we're going to have a lot.
Oh, I pressed it. Maybe it's going to do it at the end of the 12. Welcome back, guys, to SuperCoach Masters. My name is George, and alongside me is Matt Steve.
And alongside here is Gerald's, and I'm Matt Zeebs. And Gerald's, carnage, rookie carnage. The whole bench is dropped. What are we doing?
Trading.
That's exactly
Using a couple
what
of
we're
trades, to be perfectly frank, Matty. And before we get into the trades,
Yes, talk to me. What? What do you want?
Matty, I don't like this tone you're taking with me.
Are we going to do some coffee shouts?
Yes, let's do some coffee shouts. Because
Champ, I think you need a coffee because your energy at the moment is yuck. It stinks. It stinks.
you stink.
All right.
You're always going to make me swear it alive already.
The Wahab, we've gone up 400 in SuperCoach.
He has. Now, let's get into the shouts before I forget, like last episode, Matt Steves.
Sure, just forget
The big ocker, the big oak, the big ockeroon. He says, great advice every week. Love the banter, win or fail. Worst trades were Tom Green for Took, only for Mr. Miller to get injured that week. Best move was jumping on Zeeble early. Shattered Parrish's English. Think he could have been a real scorer through the rest of the year for the Mighty Dons. Stubby Hollers would be awesome as merch if you're in a position for it. Keep it up, legends. Thanks, Big Ock. I'm not even in a position at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. Craig Las Pistolas.
We love Craig. He's still giving some more P and Net money.
Yeah. So Craig goes like, no lattes for me twice this week, so the SEMs didn't go without 2 coffees.
Nice.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Big Craigo.
Love you.
Love your work, mate. And this is again the
Big Ocker again.
Big Ocko. I think because it was last week, I didn't get to read it out, so I'm going to read his one out again. Ocker went for 3. So he had a Superman quarter. He done the 5.
Right.
And he's got another 3.
Ooh, kick a quick snap and a couple.
Good advice, taking Brayshaw over Tim Kelly. So this is smart. Everyone listens to the Big Ock because he's someone who's taking our advice. And he's took Brayshaw over Tim Kelly, Titch, and Ngoe, Captain Marshall, and got a whopping score of 2-7, 2-3.
You're welcome.
Woo,
And
he says.
Yeah, well, that's a definitely woohoo.
Now,
All the boys are saying hello, champ. Ben, Big Ocker's. Oh, there he is, Big Ocker right there. Still bloody no constable, he says. George, what are we going to say? One more?
I've got 2 more, Manny.
Oh, keep going.
All right, and then we'll get to the comments. Enough, Wahab. Now, shout out to my boy who's working really hard on the night shift or the afternoon shift, whatever you want to call it.
He does the things.
No swearing because we've got us on speaker. Kelly is gone. Oliver is gone. With that goes my hope that it was left for the Wahab. Sad face, Matt Steves. But don't worry, Matty's got some special trades this episode, guys.
Some special trades.
You know they're special. Don't tell anyone yet. But Matty's got another dose of Matty's special trades for you.
It's not that.
To get you, it is. All right, let them be the judge to see if they're bad, all right?
Another dose of Zeebs' trades.
Matt, I reckon this is the best one yet. Not as good. Let's come on.
All right.
Whisk!
Good old Shano.
He's got 2 copies up inside you, Matt. It's easy to get these warm ones down and keep up and about for tonight's potty round 11 review. My dilemma: would you rather hold LDU and Clary through this bye period?
Wait a minute. Do you still have LDU?
Well, yeah, he kept LDU. Or does he go one short to get the cut? Short-term pain for long-term gain. Focused on league wins at this moment. See you in the chat.
Fair enough.
Whiskey D. My mate, I reckon we are keeping Clary and we are keeping LDU. On the injury list for North Melbourne, he said only 3 weeks as of today. So it's the shorter term of that, when they gave the, 3 to 6 weeks or so.
Understood.
Depends how good your bench cover is. There's a comments already firing.
I just love Dodo because he's like, is that Stengel or Smokey? He just loves to throw.
Which Geelong person? So reliable Dodo. He knocked Max Home out for the years in Dangerfield. Going for stinky stingers.
Oh God, he's too funny.
All right, so we're going to be going through the teams, but Matty, anyone in the comments you want to say hello to?
Oh, everybody's in there. We just love the boys, and Dodo just that fresh. I was hoping that Dodo was going to give up that new Geelong debut rookie. I feel like he's a must-have, but he's gone for a Tyson Stengel instead.
Yeah.
For a smoky party, always makes me smile. That little man. George, anyone else you got?
So we got Look, we're
So Drew's not dropped yet. His peak is still coming.
Drew's on the extended interchange, and I reckon his peak is well and truly behind him at that 40 already he scored.
No, that's too good.
All right, now the Bruce is in the comments, Matty. So shout out to the big Bruce. Shout out number 2 in the competition, the SuperCoach Master Kick Sunt Hall of Fame.
The Bruce.
Because the Naf Wahab taken comfortably first. Mate, let's get into the teams because there is some good stuff to come with this.
So first things first, this is Carlton Sydney. Now, George, what upsets me as a pit net owner is that good old Tom De Koning's in the team.
Matty now's the luxury chair ride of De Koning's big scores. The 80s are coming to an end.
The 80s and the 79s, they're all done. I think he might get 65s with De Koning coming in. So
we can hope.
Hopefully, we can hold on to him until the buy round gets me a couple of more 90s, at least. However, their ruck stocks, Sydney's ruck stocks have come in with Hickey to help out that McAndrew. So that was a bit of a shame. I thought maybe P-Net was going to have a free ride against that McAndrew, but no, Hickey came in, which is scary. No one really great came out besides Will Gould. He's not great, but
some would argue
how
great Will Gould is.
But Laddams and Stevens and Shedrick, all these duds go out. In comes more duds with Sam Wicks, Lewis Malikan, and a ruck in Tom Hickey. Gerald? Anything
Paul Comboliti says we're his favourite gay cousins. So,
Gerald.
Thanks, Paul. Stupid Italian idiot. All right. Now, for those who got Will Gould, it's not all doom and gloom because he could be the sub.
He could be. Oh yeah, true. He could be the sub with Sheldrick. No, not Warner. Stevens will probably be the sub.
Now, Matty, there was about 6 players, 6 Premos that I was considering to bring in this week.
Yeah, nice one.
And
I think I'm bringing in 2 of them, maybe.
I'm going to tell you exactly, and all the guys there who everyone should be looking for. These are the players that I don't have in my team. So we've got Sicily with a break-even of 49, Sinclair with a break-even of 83, Steele, break-even of 86, Merritt, break-even of 76, McRae, dual position coming next week, break-even of 89, Butters, break-even of 33, Neil, break-even at 85, and there's 3 others for consideration, which is probably Bailey Dale, a very cheap player who that's coming off 140 in the back line. Do that again, Matty, and you'll be sorry. Matt Kennedy.
You do it.
Matt Kennedy and Humphrey.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't mind that?
I don't mind. I like all those big dick player premiums you got there. They're all around the 550 and under. Only one. I
reckon these are all the ones that everyone should be looking at as well. These are the ones that I don't have. So ones that I do have that people should be looking at are also Laird and Doherty this week. I reckon they're the best Premos that you'd want to bring in. Everyone else is at price. These ones look like the best value picks, Matty.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Definitely.
I'm glad you agree.
Laird's not there though.
I said Laird and Doherty, the ones not in my team.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was just too busy looking at the comments there. Anyway, moving forward, Giles, this game is going to be great. St Kilda versus Hawthorn.
Yeah. I reckon after every game, I'm going to eliminate one of the people that I read out that I'm not going to get this week.
Okay, cool.
Now, before we do, Shane Marchione, one of our good fan faves, Simpsons to McAndrew and Baker to Libba. I'm going to say no, because I reckon McAndrew is going to be prime pickings for after his bye.
Because he's going to play this week.
Yeah, he'll have his second game, then he'll miss next week.
So you want to get him in the week after?
I reckon he'll be primed for then. I don't think we bring in McAndrew early.
I'd rather bring one of the North duds early before McAndrew.
Yeah, and I think there's plenty of midfield cheapies to go without splurging all that cash on Libba. I do think Libba will have a good game against Gold Coast, Matty. Where does Libba rate in your priorities to bring in your team?
He's not in my priorities at the moment. He's too expensive.
He's too expensive. For what Libba can produce, I'd say he's at his kind of peak price.
I think so too, but he's a great price. But I mean, a great player, but could be top 5 the way that he's been carrying himself. Reliable Dodo has got a really smart question, and it is, why is Harry Sharp so stinky?
Yes, I saw this question, and it really resonated with me when I saw it. So Sharp is stinky, and he's very stinky, because a lot of the stinky people that chose Stinky Sharp was the people that didn't get Humphrey.
That's right. We decided to not spend that extra $1 dues on Humphrey, and we got that Stinky Sharp. So that smell really resonates through mine and Jordan's jumper right now.
Okay, Matty, so let's get into the next team. But before we do, I'm going to eliminate one of the Premos that I'm not going to trade in. I'm going to eliminate Butters.
Butters, yes.
Break even 33. He's got a great 2 games coming up with Richmond included. I'm eliminating Butters because I am not paying over $600,000 again.
For anybody.
Anyone, ever.
During the season.
Anyone.
During the season.
Ever.
If we started, so you're going to have all... fair call. Plus that buy round, champ, you know?
Yeah, why not? Okay,
all right, nothing much to look at St Kilda. Hawthorn dropped 1, St Kilda dropped 1. Mitch Owens injured, Connor McDonald sub. Nothing to see here. What a boring game. Jules?
A lot of people will be thinking, Matt Zeebs, Weddle or S. Mitchell, who has the potential to score better? I mean, Sam Mitchell has scored better in all these pretty much games, except for Weddle's big, huge belting of West Coast, 28 touches, 2 goals. Now, if you had both of them, because you don't have the Wed Star, if you had both of them, who would you be playing?
Look, I know I'm going to say a stupid answer because at this stage with the carnage of the rookies, I'm pretty sure people will need to be playing both of them regardless. Do you need to play both of them?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I will probably play... The way that Weddle play, it looks like he's got more to give. Like, I know Mitchell, he doesn't...
And Mitchell also has a sub-affected game in
I get it. But, like, his highest score would have probably been last week.
Who, Mitchell?
Mitchell's. And Weddle's has got the potential and have a higher ceiling, I think, just the way that he looks. I like Weddle over... When you're in form, and you can only do that with the rookies, I think. So, obviously, I'll probably say Weddle.
I think they're both pretty good picks, Matt Zeebs. You know why? Because St Kilda does leak a lot of points to defenders.
And he is in a defender.
And so is Mitchell. I reckon they're both pretty good picks for the field this week if we have to do that, guys. We'll talk about Clayton Oliver as well because that's definitely going to be something to talk about. But let's get to a question, Matt Zeebs. Ben Molagusis, he says Simpson to Humphrey and a Chinchota to Wardlaw, or Anderson to Zerrett, Laird or Steele, and Simpson to Humphrey, 14 trades left. I reckon Simpson to Humphrey any day of the week. I don't mind Chinchota to Wardlaw, just gets those playing rookies on the field.
I would say I would go against, like Jordy read out some break evens and they are pretty low. A lot of those, you're talking about, what do you say, Laird or Steele, they both have very low break evens where you can still wait a week to get that Wardlaw next week. Maybe go for the Chinchota to Humphrey but again, if that's going to be on the back of Anderson or Oliver, he's going to get rid of?
Anderson.
Yes, get rid of Anderson.
And just a special hello to Joey Carbine. I think I went on his live stream and I think he's doing the favour, coming in, giving us a nice raid. Good to see you guys. Stop raiding us and ask us some questions.
The boys, ask us some questions. So
now, I think I know, the centre bounce guys, I think they're of the opinion, I know at least half of their, Joe, I know Joe's trading out Oliver. Now, what's your opinions on Claz?
I don't want to believe it, champ. I skip the teams where Oliver is out. He's on my field, and if someone comes on the emergency for him, so be it. And that would happen for the next 2 or 3 weeks if that's the case. But no, I see this, Jaws. I see it. If any other week, let's just say it's round 4 or even round 16 when the buys are done, and he's out for 4 weeks, then I
don't think he's going to be out for 4 weeks.
Regardless, worst case scenario, he's out for 4 weeks.
Yep.
We're doing it over the buy period where you can afford. You only have to play 18, so you've already got 4 people eliminated from it. It's probably any time of your best players to get injured. It's probably during the buy round where you can keep them, based on the fact that there is 4 players, best 18.
Especially because it's very important to note if you're considering holding Clary or trading Clary, one of those games is going to be the ones where Geelong and Gold Coast have their bye, where you essentially have a full team regardless. Exactly. Some people don't even have any of those players. Yeah. So it's not, you're pretty much holding him for free. So that's pretty much a get 1 week better Clary card. It
is. That's true. And that's the point. So that's why I'm holding Clary. Getting him out and getting him back in is going to be impossible, especially with the limited amount of trains you have left. There is going to be a lot of boosts again. So after this week, next week there'll be an unleashing of 3 trades for the next 4 rounds. So I can imagine I can imagine people will be burning their trades down to single figures under 5 easily.
Now, Adam Wild says, which 2 of 3 would you bring in between Butters, Merritt, and Sicily? Now, all 3 of those players are in my list of Premos you should be watching. I've already eliminated one of them, which has been Butters. And I think this is a great chance to eliminate another one. And I think, Matt Zeebs, I'm going to eliminate from the list It's a tough one, but I'm eliminating Jack Steele from the list.
Yeah, good call.
Jack Steele from the list.
I agree.
All right, next game.
Next game, Jules. It's going to be... All right, here we go. This is the sound. I don't even want to read this game out. You can read this out, champ. I don't want to read it. Don't want to hear it.
Clayton Oliver's out.
What?
This is Jordan's out. Hunter is out with that suspension. Harms and Sparrow back in. Really strong midfield there. Walters is also out injured. A couple of interesting sub-watch. Could be some Sturts. Could be Will Brodie for Freo. And for Melbourne.
Some news on Fife?
Nobody cares. Fife is going to not be subbed.
Yes, that's the news.
He's going to be fine, but who really trusts
what he says?
Fife? Because if Fremantle's beating the crap out of any team,
it's not going to be Melbourne.
I mean, if they are though in the future, they're not going to say, "Oh yeah, it's third quarter, we're up by about 60 points. Let's sub Fife." Mm-hmm. They're going to. I don't think he's going to be a really good pick this year.
Yeah.
And if he is, it's okay to wait a week to see what he can do with a full game.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Fair enough. Oh, George, that's a pretty easy... Matt, there's nothing really to love here besides, that's not... People that don't have Oliver will be loving that.
I can't believe Judd McVee and, Chandler's and all these guys at the start of the year continuing to pile up games, which is really good for the guys who rolled the dice. And then Matt Johnson for Freo is getting a full game.
Uh-huh.
So I reckon he might even be a decent scorer if he gets some midfield minutes.
Yes, they'll run with the big balls.
But now if they, including Fife in that midfield with Brayshaw and Sarong and, O'Meara, and if Will Brodie's the sub, there's a lot of midfielders in there that then wants a bit of that pie.
They sure do,
That's why I'm... steering clear of Freo.
And they're still cool of what?
Of Freo kind of midfielders.
So you don't...
I reckon with that kind of variable where they're all sharing so many CBAs, there are going to be games where they go 70. I reckon there's going to be a game where Sarong goes 70 or a game where Brayshaw goes 70.
Now, I just want to ask a question. It's a stupid question, but it's going to have to be asked because if Fife goes berserk and gets maybe his break-even 60 against Melbourne, he's going to have a full... They're not talking to him about the full line. It's going to be a midfield role he's going to have. At 244 for a Nat Fife, could he be something to consider?
No.
Good. Okay.
He's not. If he gets 100,
yes.
Swear up, pay the 15k, and if you want to jump on next week, will. I still won't jump on him.
You still won't jump
on him. But if you want a 5...
If you read out those CBAs, Fife gets 23 CBAs, 26 touches and a goal against Melbourne.
Yeah.
And obviously it's the bye round, so he's got another week to rest and recover and...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think he's an injury-prone player and he's the first person that's going to get the vest.
Okay.
But if he does get a big number against Melbourne, 120, and he's going to make some cash gen, I don't hate it, Matty.
Does any of our boys out there thinking of Fife if he gets 100?
I'm sure there would be. At that price?
At that price? Yeah.
That's what Lord of the Manor says, and I completely agree, Matty. I want to make sure I've missed none of everyone's comments when they ask. So the Blues fan, going Chinchota to Wardlaw, and second trade is between Sarong and banking 70k for Clary, or go Steele and bank 160k. I like Steele and 160k. Matty, what do you like? Sarong or 70 or Steele and 160k?
Steele and 160.
You heard it here first, Blues fan. Make that trade happen right now.
Right, that happen. Fife or Wardlaw if you're feeling a smoky. He loves those smokies.
Don't mind
that
smoking.
Cat. Champ Luke says next week Darcy Cameron against West Coast. Ho.
Darcy Cameron against West Coast. Yeah, maybe. If he gets a good score this week, I think you can jump on him. Yeah. I preferably want to grab him just after his bye.
Yeah, fair enough. Most people will pull the trigger, says Whiskey Doos, Shano. No, not enough trades left to risk Fife, so people are...
I agree with that.
Yeah.
We're really getting rid to the bottom of the barrel when the trades... Yeah. You're reaching your bags, like, I've got to trade for that. Eventually, you're going to hit rock bottom, and you don't want to have a Fife in your team when that's happening. No, so
fair enough, George. So you're going to knock out someone else there on your list of...
I will knock out someone else. So in case you guys didn't know, the list was Sicily, Sinclair, Steele, Merritt, McRae, Butters, Neal... And some other selections were Bailey, Dale, Kennedy, and Humphrey.
Let's not talk about those ones.
I'm going to get rid of Bailey, Dale.
Okay, so we are. All right, George, next one. This is Geelong versus the Giants. Here come the Giants.
All right, now Mason Ellsworth wants to know, is Weddle worth it? Are you guys trading Oliver? Straight up, I reckon we just knock this on the head.
We are not trading Oliver.
I'm not trading Oliver. I am not trading...
To repeat one more time, if it was any other time of the rounds... After or before the buys?
Still wouldn't trade him.
Jordy probably wouldn't. I probably would.
I think he's 1-2 weeks.
Yeah.
But they could be cautious and hold him out to the buy round. But I don't know. I think that
What I like to see the most is obviously, let's hope that he's still going to be in over the next 2 weeks. Over 26,000 people have already traded him out, which is pretty fun to look at.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, George, what do you think of that? A lot of people are moving on.
Oh, well, I understand the thing.
People
I
wanna know
think the owners of Clary, a lot of polls I've seen, a lot of of the content creators and all the professionals and journalists, they do some polls and it's down 50-50. You would say, should you trade or hold Oliver? Obviously, 28,000 people
So 21% that have owned him out of the 41 that already started him, 56%.
So 28,000 coaches.
That's pretty much half of it because he's 56% owned before this round, and 28, so it's literally halved.
Yeah.
So he will be a point of difference for the people that keep him.
Well, yeah, as best as he can. Okay, so realistically, everything you heard, how long do you think Clary's out for?
I reckon he'll be back after the first bye week.
Do you think he will?
2 weeks.
So he's got this week,
Yeah.
next week, and then he's got a bye.
Yeah, I reckon he'll be back after his bye.
So you reckon he'll be back in 4 weeks?
No, it's 3 weeks. So, he's
So
missing
it's this week,
Yeah.
next week, his
Oh, yeah,
bye.
he won't be back for the. Yeah, that's right. He won't need to be he can miss that 3rd week. So ideally, if he's back after the Melbourne bye, we don't need him in the Geelong Gold Coast bye.
I know we don't, but you think he's going to come back after his bye?
Yes.
I think he'll be back next week or the week after.
Yeah, probably.
Next week.
Well, look, the worst case scenario, he'll be back after his bye because any hamstring strain is about 3 to 4 weeks. He doesn't even have a hamstring tear.
Well, he played on. He trained.
I know.
So I think he's going to play next week.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to come back next week, but I'm just saying the worst case scenario, he'll be after Geelong's bye, or after his bye.
Yeah, after his bye. That's the worst case scenario is after his bye.
Yeah.
And I think we can still hold. So worst case scenario, I reckon we can hold Clary through the buys, especially if you spruce up that.
Clary will be back on Monday for the King's birthday.
Yeah, well.
That's in June. Yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah, so we're holding Clary, and he's not a part of either of our trade plans, guys.
Nope.
And don't advocate for trading him out.
All right. Geelong GWS. So a new boy. I want to hear what Dodo's thoughts on Austin Milan. Then Oliver Henry comes in, Sam DeConing. Out goes Holmes. Nevitt.
Slow down.
Dempsey.
Slow down.
So a lot of...
So Matty's talking about Geelong, if you haven't heard, because he was going...
If you don't know those names, yes. Max Holmes, Nevitt, Dempsey, and Sam Simpson rested, Jaws. That's going to hurt a lot of...
Sam Simpson owners.
And Nevitt owners.
Yes. I reckon the good rule from now on, don't get Geelong rookies.
And then out goes Fleeton. So another rookie on the bubble.
I know. I remember I was having a chat with someone. So I'm going to get Fleeton. And I've convinced myself and this, that.
Yeah, I remember that person. Who was that?
I can't remember. Okay. But he said, I'm going to get him. I've convinced myself. I'm like, don't get him.
Don't get him.
And look, we saved you the trouble. Instead of being dropped next week, he's dropped now.
Himmelberg, Kelly, and Nick Haynes.
He's like Nick Haynes and Kelly and Himmelberg around. He's not going to get dropped.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, he's the only one dropped.
I know. He's the only one dropped. Everyone else was injured.
And my boy Agwin holding firm on that wing with his 4 possessions.
Chad, what did Ralston get? Ralston got a massive score over the weekend. In
the VFL land.
He got like 40 odd touches.
He's in Constable World now, baby.
He's in Constable World, definitely. Anyway, so that's that. Callum Brown, Daniel Lloyd, and Lachlan Keefe come in for the Giants. Who cares?
All right, well, I got to get to something really important, man. That's enough Wahab. He's asking a question. He goes, guys, do I cop the donut or miss out on Humphreys? 100% miss out on Humphreys. Don't cop any donuts, mate. We are too early in the season to be copping donuts, guys. No one is worth a donut.
Wait, what's he saying? Do I cop a donut or miss out on Humphreys?
That's what I just said.
So what's
miss out on Humphreys?
So miss out on, okay, yeah. Miss out on Humphreys. Trade out Chinchotto and Wilmot early, yep, for Merritt and someone around that price, the Wardlaw.
What? Which
well, maybe take a punt on that Geelong. We're talking to Hexacism. Maybe take
so Heroxism says trade out Chinchotto and Wilmot early for Merritt or someone around that price and Wardlaw. I like it. Wilmot's on the extended interchange. We're expecting him to play, but I don't mind going early on that trade. I think Merritt and Wilmot are going to make similar amounts of money anyway, so that's a good way to kind of justify bringing out Wilmot early. Jamie Burrow says, when are you boys bringing out the multi-bet sharing?
I remember, right? We need to do something about this, George.
Someone asked me for a multi on Facebook. I gave them and it was an absolute stinker.
So
we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Matty, I think it's time I knocked out another Premo from my trades.
Go ahead.
All right, so I am knocking out... I'm knocking out Matt Kennedy.
Okay.
Not a part of contention.
Definitely not. Moving forward to the next game. Do you want to play the next game or do you want to answer 4 questions?
Is there any questions? All right, here we go. We've got Luke Parasot. Best pick under 540k, Sinclair, Steele, or DeGoey? Well, out of them 3 people, there's only one of them left in my absolute must-gets this week, and that is Sinclair.
Sinclair, Steele, and DeGoey in order.
In order, Luke. So that's good.
Reason why Sinclair is probably one of the best defenders in his line. Steele, I think we said it last week that there could be maybe a handful of steals that can be around that don't need to be snared just as yet. But Sinclair is definitely going to be where he needs to be at the end of the season in your top 6 defender averages.
In the terms of price, I think Steele's pretty good for a premium midfielder, 530-ish K.
Yes,
I mean, I wouldn't...
Well, look, at the end of the day, one of them, they both had the same break even. They're both similar score.
You got the same screen there.
I'm looking at your thing. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at this.
Oh.
So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they're both pretty much similar plays. I think we get one. I think both of them need to be snared in your team eventually.
Snared.
Yes, snared,
Dollar
Sinclair
reduced.
and Steele. Dollar reduced and snared. So I think Sinclair this week and Steele after his bye to get rid of some dirty dud players.
Mate, we got some stinky rookies that need to be addressed, Matty,
Yeah.
because it doesn't look like Chinchotta's coming back anytime soon, does he?
Oh, no.
All right, Matty. Tell me the next game.
Next game is, tree came out. Gold Coast Suns versus the Dogs. Yours, in my eyes, the outs are Brendan Ellis, Day, Sean Lemons, and Noah Anderson for the Gold Coast Suns are out.
No, they're not.
In my eyes, I said.
Okay, but Brandon Ellis, Sam Day, Lemons are out, and Ben Long and Joel Jeffrey are in. And for the Dogs,
no changes. Just
JJ is out with injury, and the sub comes in for a full game.
For a full game. Oh, James McDonald is getting his 3rd game champ. Is that something to look at?
It's a 10 and a 20 in your team at the absolute best. I don't know how he's still getting a game, but...
Me either, George. Me either. Okay, then we see Humphrey and Atkins. Hopefully they can go berserk again for...
Weller's still on his way back, guys, if you're considering... Now we've got to talk about this. People without Humphrey, people without Atkins. Who would you grab first? At this price, right now.
Humphrey.
You'd grab Humphrey over Atkins, even though Atkins is cheaper?
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't know.
But what would you use them for? Are they there to make you money, or are they there to be...
every rookie you bring in has to make you money, and obviously the more the better.
Well, then Humphrey's got the better money-making abilities at this point.
But you said you can get a -3 at the drop of a hat.
Well, George, like we said, we needed more data.
That's what I said!
Yeah, we needed more data. That's what you said about Butters when you told me not to get him.
Yeah.
We need more data.
Now, Wayne Williams says, is JF Horn Francis? He's just on the extended interchange, mate. So don't worry about that. Placey 100. Already am trading Anderson. If I trade Clary also, I can get a Merritt and a Stewart with 177k in 12 trades with 3 upgrades. Thoughts on the Howard position? I am not going to applaud any trade involving Clary. Yes, you still got a fair amount of K and you got the 12. I would be keeping Clary. Look, let Stewart go for another week, mate. His break-even's still pretty high, and just fix up a rookie. That's what I reckon you can do, and I reckon that's perfect. And who knows, you could get a Clary over a Stewart in a week's time and save the trade. So
there you go, Joel's hearing it here first.
Xander Dom says, Matty, is it dumb to sideways Anderson and Oliver to Butters and Merritt at this point? And I'm going to say yes.
I'll say yes and no.
I'm going to say yes and yes.
No, because Anderson is not a premium. He's a dud, and he's shown us 2 good games, and that's it. And now he's 630,000, and in 2 weeks he's going to be 530,000. That's if he gets a couple of hundreds.
Could get 180. But
I do not believe he will.
Butters at that price, I mean, I'm sure he's going to play well over the next 2 games. But you want to be spending 620k on Butters when he's around.
No.
I don't want to be doing that at all. You see that one good game now, there's like some Fox footy was comparing him to like Gary Ablett in his 3rd or 4th year or something like this ridiculous.
What, from Butters, the way that he plays? Oh, that's disgusting.
Butters is not, Ablett and no one ever will be.
Something's buzzing, George, apparently, enough says.
What's buzzing?
Yeah, I think your mic is playing up. George's mic dead or off? What are you doing, Giles? Maybe you should come next to me and just give me a cuddle. Talk up.
How about now, guys?
How about now, guys? But no, I do agree. Someone also has asked, do we trade out Anderson? Yes. Yes, Mitchell. We do. He's a piece of shit. And we got sucked in. We made a mistake. We're done for getting him in. We should have known better. And we didn't. We tried to do something special, but it just didn't work. And he's out of my team, and I hate him.
Can we get a my test, guys? My test.
Jordy, can people say they can hear Jordy? Because clearly, you know, or keep trolling him, say it's not working now, but he really wants to be honest. He's going to be paranoid. Anyway, I've got to keep rolling this show.
Keep rolling.
George,
sit back.
George, West Coast Eagles versus the Bombers. Now, a lot of our duddest rookies have been dropped. West Coast Eagles, Chesser, Clark, Edwards, Jones, even Xavier O'Neill. So people that thought that maybe Xavier O'Neill is going to be tagging a hard tag on that Merritt because he did a good job on Anderson and he did a good job on Will Day. He's not in the team anymore. They're bringing Elliot Lowe, Yo, Edwards, Hernan, Brass. So a lot of old farts coming in. Out goes for Bombers, Davies, the Ruckman, Andrew Phillips, Kane Baldwin, and Massimo, Shield, Laverde, and Guelphy. So they get a bit of talent back, the Bombers. But Davey and Chesser, not that they really put our SuperCoach scores on fire with the 40s and 20s that they get respectively, George.
No, Matty, they definitely do not. And I don't know if you can hear me yet, so...
Matty's mic's fine, George is dead. So, George, you want to say something?
I turned it off and on!
Just maybe talking to me, Jay.
Alright, I'm just going to get close to you.
Maybe you just want to give me a kiss this whole time.
Alright.
Alright, so George, after seeing that, George, who is the player that you're going to be wiping off your thing at the moment? And maybe I'll just do this, champ. Maybe I'll just do this. Maybe we'll just hold it up here. And we can just talk like this, George. So I can actually give you some interviews. George, what do you think about that?
Matty, I think the next player off the list is going to be Jackson McRae at 550k.
Jason McRae, he's really... Who you got left? You got Neil?
I got Neil, Sicily, Merritt, and Humphrey left.
Okay.
And
Sinclair. All right, George, let's have a look at some questions. Maybe you can read some out because I need to have a rest. My mouth's a bit dry from all that talking because you've been doing nothing. George?
Because your speaker's working. Probably because last time when you sat on this speaker and broke the wire and you took it off.
Apparently it was Matty's the whole time. Engo's back. Of course, your suspension's over.
Suspension's over, mate. But wait till you see the board next time, mate.
I know. Michael Gilday says Anderson goes from having a 9 break even to literally 202 in 2 weeks. That's not impossible, George, but it is.
It is if you're Anderson, Matt Zeeb. So, look, let's get to the next team.
Let's have a look at the next team. Okay. Next team, Gerald Richmond, Port Adelaide. Who's in this game?
Port
in the G. Okay, let's have a look. No outs for Richmond yet. Miller, Banks, and Tyler Young are coming in. Extended interchange is interesting for the Samson Ryan owners, but I think you'll still get a game. George, do you think you'll still get a game? Not what you hope. Would he still get a game?
Is Soldo in there? No Soldo? Yeah, I reckon they're going to need Samson Ryan, so I don't think he's going to be going anywhere.
So, George, you said Hugh Jackson. Oh, you didn't know Wolverine plays for Port Adelaide. So Hugh Jackson, Jace Burgoyne, Junior Rioli, Lockie Jones come in. Jonas is suspended.
Nothing good happening.
George. I don't even want to talk about it.
The extended interchange for both those teams. Port Adelaide could be dropping Francis Evans. I know a couple of people jumped on him, hoping to be a bit of a cash cow. But I don't know how that's going to last, Matt Zeebs.
It's fixed, champ. Okay.
It's fixed because I turned it off.
Aha. Well, yeah, it's a pretty fun game to watch without Hardwick. Champ, any thoughts on Hardwick quitting?
Hardwick quitting. See ya.
Cool. See you later. Good luck. Care. Have fun.
Don't care. It doesn't take much time.
That's right. Now, Jules, another one released from your list.
How many do I have left? I'm going to release. So what is it? We've got Merritt, Neil, Sicily. I'm going to release Sinclair from the list. I'm going to delete them as we're going. So
all right. Double dummy, Neil after round 12 will be nice. Definitely would. Reliable Dodo, Clary, Davey, to Merritt, Wardlaw. I like it. I like that one. Clary, well, actually don't like Clary. We probably like Simpson and Trotter to Humphrey and forward.
Actually, I don't want to just do this.
What's yours going to do?
I'm going to do this without the Y you sat on last week and just put this here.
Arnold goes, the Bruce says, the Roaming Matty, because I got the mic. He's like, oh boy, Jaws.
So close.
So many
close.
rookies are dead. I agree, Ingo, and it's so fun. Is anyone not fielding? Can you make a trade or not make a trade and still get a full team?
Absolutely, yes.
Me too, absolutely. Anyone else they can't? Let me know, because I'm sure
I think
there's Olivers, there's Callie's, there's Olivers and Callie's.
Olivers and Callie's and JJ's and a bunch of shit rookies, Chinchottas and the like.
And the like, Jaws. I want to talk about the best game of the round. It's so not this time.
Collingwood North Melbourne.
Collingwood North Melbourne on a Marvel state. We'll play for Marvel for a while. No outs. McRae, Harvey, Reef McGuinness on the extended interchange. Liam Shields goes out for North Melbourne, and a couple of other old farts come in for North.
These old farts are very important because in the extended interchange, it looks like there's a lot of good players, Matty. Paul Curtis had an absolutely great game. You don't need to do that anymore, mine's
I'm now doing this.
Oh, okay. Paul Curtis had a great game. Blake Jury is a turd. Cunningham had a great game in the VFL, so he could come back in. Aaron Hall might get a game, and I need to see those teams.
You want to see those teams? I was trying to.
You just got to.
Well, you got it on your own screen. Yes, okay. Here's your teams. Go.
Eddie Ford. You don't think Eddie Ford's going to be getting dropped?
I hope not. I like him.
So out of them, who do you think's going to be getting a game? Because I reckon Ford will. I reckon Paul Curtis will.
I think it's time for Drew to go. I think Aiden Core won't. Cunnington still, he did have a good VFL.
He did.
Zerha is already straight on the field. So someone has to come in for Zerha regardless. So someone's going to be dropped for Zerha, and I would imagine it's probably Will Phillips will probably be the sub. Blake Drury will go. I think Will Phillips, Drury, Lorazzo won't get a game. Probably Ford, Cunnington, Curtis and Hall.
I like it, Matty. Don't hate it. I think Phillips had a pretty good game too.
He did, but he had a good Supercoach game. He only got 2 kicks and the rest were handballs.
Yeah, I know. But he got a lot of contested possessions that game.
With those handballs, yes. All right, George, name another one of those players that you're going to read out.
So what we got left right here, we have Sicily, we have Merritt, we have Neil, and Humphrey. So I'm going to have to eliminate one more of these players, and Matty, I think I'm going to eliminate Merritt.
Cool. Okay.
Against West Coast, no O'Neill as well. So that's highly speculative. So we have Sicily, Neil, and Humphrey left. This is only one of the trades, obviously, because I am going to be getting in the
Wardlobs.
For McKenna.
That sounds good, champ. Mizza chimes in. He says, he's copping a donut and he's playing docket. It's going to be funny.
Jamie, I guarantee you're not copping a donut. I don't see there's any way you would cop a donut. There's no way you're copping a donut.
Rookie Roulette's been a killer. Yes, it definitely has Whiskey Doos. North is playing for finals.
Who said that?
And also, again, Whiskey D's. Shane.
North is playing for finals. So Liam Plunkett said, could I still get in Atkins and Humphreys with 16 trades left and 3 upgrades to make? Absolutely
not.
What?
I would get Premos now.
Champ, what the hell are you talking about?
He wants an Atkins and a Humphrey right now.
Why not?
On what
They
expense?
both got a good buy.
What expense? Whose expense?
Doesn't matter who's. He's got 16 trades left. He's only got 3 more upgrades before he gets a full team. Why not get the players that are playing in the buy to cover some of those turds that have been dropped?
Because it's $600,000 worth of turds.
100%, Liam. Do it. 100%.
No. Get a premium and get one of them. Like, I'm sure you can afford to do that. Not both of them. Okay, let's just make another easier. If they go with you, okay, maybe this is the rules get 2. If you had to go with 1 and a Premo, what one would you get more?
But if they can't afford
Okay,
2.
Whatever. Atkins or
Humphreys.
Who would you pick first?
Humphreys.
Yeah, okay. Me too.
Just.
Do it. Going early, Jules. All right, so what's Jamie saying? Mizzo is saying it's actually 100% fact. Look at my team. Or tell Matty to look at his phone. I messaged him. Yeah, okay, I did see that. James, I'm sure you'll make some trades. There's no way you're going to let Doggy beat you. And if you do, it's going to be a talking point next week. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe. All right, next game of the round.
Now, Reliable Dodo says, is Ford safe to get in now if can't afford Wardlaw? No. I'm not getting in a small forward from North Melbourne based on one good game. If you look at his games last year, he was getting 30s.
And 20s.
And 20s. We are not going early on Ford.
And if you're early, interchange.
And if you came late here, like Fraser Burke, we are keeping Clary, holding him tight, nursing him back to health.
We're going to kiss him. We're going to kiss him and touch him and rub him, and he's going to be right for round 12. Right, Charles?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. All right, bit tempted to go to LDU up to Merritt, but with Fleet and...
All right, well, let's just talk the best bubble boys. Since Shano or Whiskey D's talking about it, the best bubble boys for this week, Matty.
So, no.
Not even bubble.
Not
Best
even.
best rookies to bring in.
There's no one good. All right, so 80-40's on extended edition. You can't even get him yet. He's not even named yet.
He'll get a game.
For one. George Wardlow's probably the best one because he's, top pick. Looked all right. Everyone's on him. You're just going to follow everyone else. Kieran Briggs, champ. He's going straight in the right guard. No one's touching him. I wouldn't go early on Lockley McAndrew just yet. But to be honest, no one else is playing. Kane Baldwin did a 60, got a 70 and a 60, and now he got dropped, which was a flying under the radar, but obviously Laverde coming in, he's not playing. Fleeton gets dropped, probably be a sub. There's nobody good.
All right, so I reckon...
You can only go with those two North Melbourne players.
I think you need to pay up. You need to pay up. I reckon if you have to spend a little bit more on the rookies this week, if you don't have an Atkins or if you don't have a Weddle, I reckon the best thing to do is grab those guys. Yeah, you are paying more, but don't go early on guys like Ford and McAndrew. Literally, if you get McAndrew, there is a real possibility that he will not play a game for like the next 8 weeks, right? And you don't need that. Just pay the money, get in a Humphrey, get in an Atkins, get in a Wardlaw. These are probably get a Weddle if you don't have it. If you got all four of them, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I reckon these are the ones you have to do. There is no 102 or 123k rookie that's any good.
Well, did we miss that Thomas Berry is now getting a game?
He was a sub last week.
He was a sub last week, but he's actually on the field this week, so he's actually getting a game.
So we all know that his job security is going to be pretty shit, so no.
Well,
he was a sub last week.
He was, but yes. Well, he's another $140,000 player that's in there.
Yeah, if you want to go on a Berry, do it, but I wouldn't.
No, me either. There's no one really good. If you're talking about good downgrade options, it's probably gone with the North boys early, and that's it.
You mean Wardlaw, not Ford, not North boys.
Right. That's right.
North boy.
All
right, in order from you. If you've got none of these guys, I would say number one is probably going to be Weddle. He's coming off.
How much is Weddle?
He's around 230 from memory, Matty.
Goodness gracious.
But he's coming off 114, so he's projected to go up by at least another 49k. So
yeah,
I reckon Weddle will be the best pick to get this week. If you don't have him, the next one I think might even be Atkins because he's coming off 100. He's got a great buy. He's a bit overpriced, I admit it, but he's literally only 60k or something more than Wardle.
Did you say Humphrey before him?
No, but if you don't have him, he's a bit cheaper. So Humphrey's almost 300k.
Right, so is Atkins.
No, he's like 250, isn't he?
No, he's 293 champ.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely put Humphreys above him there.
Yeah,
Humphreys, then Atkins, and then Wardlaw. Unfortunately, you have to pay up. Don't go early on anyone else. If you can't, that means you can't get a Premo. Suck it up. Don't get the Premo.
That's it. What else are the boys saying? Ouch, Mizza, wow, Mizza. Jamie's just getting some of this. Oliver, Cowley, Simpson, Chinchada, Constable, Drury, Davey, Roberts, Rouston. Wow.
So Roaston that's on you.
Yeah. That's on you, Jamie.
Now,
everyone's feeling sorry for Drury. Jamie.
F off LDU for Merritt or Brayshaw. That's my 50. Oh, that's Merritt every day of the week.
Merritt or Brayshaw, that's your 50-50 choice, yeah.
If that's Shano, that's every day of the week.
Merritt.
Reliable Dodo says Humphrey/Ford in if I hold Oliver or... Oh, wait, we have to stop all the things because
the Bruce is after Wahab.
Thanks. $5, that's calling out Wahab. Wahab, I know you're probably at work or wherever, but not in the chat, but he's calling you out in a big way.
He's shooting those guns. Good on you. Good, I appreciate it heaps, Brucey. That's the best.
Good on you, Brucey. You're an absolute superstar.
Now, let me get through this last team and then we can get on with it and you can tell me who's your best pick.
Everyone start donating super chats to interrupt Matty.
Yo, I already talked about it, champ. No, that's the other one. Last game of the round.
Wahab's in the chat. He's responding.
What's he saying?
He's saying I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Almost up the ladder.
There you go. Almost up the ladder. That's pretty funny, boys.
If you guys don't know who the Bruce and Wahab are, they're two biggest supporters, the two biggest kick Sunts we know. So, a little bit of healthy rivalry. It's like the Geelong and Hawthorn of old.
Yeah, it's like the Gary Ablett from Geelong versus the Luke Hodge You know, like it's just the good old rivalry. But Ablett's clearly in front, which is the Wahab, unless you want to be Ablett Brucey. Gonna get some more dollar news out. Anyway, no, we do appreciate you a lot, though. Thank you so much. Then we've got the last game. Let's just get through this last game so we can talk about some trades. We can talk about some vice captains. We can talk about some other things.
Wait, the Whiskey Dig wants to know where's the ladder. Mate, it's alive, so I can't really show you the ladder. But
The ladder.
I don't have the ability to import special effects on the lives, which is the only... Yeah, let me do it for you,
Oh,
sweetheart.
thank you, sweetie. Anyway, let's go through the Adelaide-Brisbane game. It's a pretty crap game, but nothing really to see here.
Adelaide-Brisbane game's a crap game. Since when? I didn't get that memo.
Oh, Harry Sharp got submitted because he's so stinky. But so many players came in for Brisbane. Rich, Gardiner, Robertson, Madden, Cockatoo, Fulton. There's not going to be much changes. It just looks big. Rich is already straight on the bench still.
Now, guys, big news. Sharp is shit. And
Big news.
huge. Guys, if you're
Sharp
drinking,
stinks.
if you're eating, put down your drinks. Sharp is shit.
Get a sniff.
Because I'm telling you what, and also he's given us a very good captain loophole and a midfield loophole if you have a full team.
No,
So, but it allows you, if you have Sharp, to loophole anyone within because he's not even an emergency.
No.
Not even an extended interchange. He's
not-
crap.
he's
He's
not
a
coming
bad
on.
human. He's a bad player. Who's the coach there? Fagan. No good, Matty.
So anyway, that's that. Adelaide Crows, you've got Himmelberg omitted, Hinge omitted, injured, Berry sub. A lot of players. Walker's coming back from his rest, so he's coming straight into the team. Phil Thorpe, I'll imagine he'll get games even though he is on the extended interchange. Dodie, straight on the field. Duday, straight on the field. So already Dodie and Walker are replacing Hinge and Himmelberg.
I don't think it's anyone relevant.
No one's relevant. Let's draw. Who out of those boys do you like the most?
All right, so guys, left on my trades is we have Sicily, Neil, and Humphrey. See, Matty?
Yep.
And look, I'm going to get rid of Sicily.
When did you get rid of Sinclair?
Last one, Matty.
That was stupid.
No, it's not. Sicily's a better pick than Sinclair this
I
week.
do not believe.
I reckon Sicily, mark down right now, I reckon Sicily is going to be a great vice-captain option.
Against...
You saw what Zeeble done against St Kilda. You saw what all the Fremantle boys done against St Kilda. You saw what even Whitfield done against St Kilda. I reckon Sicily's a great vice-captain option.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about that now, champ.
The captains and vice-captains, or you want to talk about trades?
I think we should talk about trades right now, just to let the boys...
I want
get
you
a
to...
sniff.
This is your first trade.
All right, George.
My first trade.
What do you want to do?
All right, my McKenna is out for Wardlaw for me.
Wow.
I'm tired of him stinking up the field.
Yeah. So I still have Setterfield because I got rid of Conor McKenna last week because I didn't want to lose that $16,000 that I knew he was going to lose. So Setterfield, and I had money from last week too. So Setterfield, I want to say them on both. Setterfield and Noah Anderson are out. In comes in Rory Laird, 3 votes. Jay Sinclair, 3 votes.
So you're getting in Sinclair and Laird, and you're trading out Setterfield and Noah Anderson.
Yep. With Oliver on the bench, yes.
Now, is there an injury that Anderson has that I don't know about?
Yes.
What's his injury?
He's got, smells like shitinitis. It's really contagious. A lot of our teams...
Did you trade him in 2 weeks ago?
I got $30,000. I see it as a positive. I got him for 30.
So you used 2 trades to get $30,000.
Champ, you used 4 trades to get Cornelio.
But at least I still have him.
So, well, I'm going to...
And everyone laughs at that because that's funny, because it's stupid.
Noah Anderson is not a premium.
You picked him as a premium.
And I fucked
Well,
up.
now because he's 600K, he's still a premium.
No, he's not.
He's got a good buy round. At least keep him for the
No,
buys.
he's not. He's not going. He's
If you got 189, he could do
Guys,
it again.
if you got Anderson, get rid of him. He's garbage. I'd rather have Oliver 0 than Anderson's 70 this week.
Whiskey Dick says, you are sideways, Matty, but you got a bit of support in Ben Mologis. This is nice trades, Matty. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think of Matty's trades.
Engo. Thanks, Engo. It's my boy. I can always look to Engo to give me support.
But
CBA stink, Jordy.
But maybe Ingo's a friend that just tells you what you want to hear, even though
I've never met him, but I love him, and that's.
But
Thanks for the support, Engo.
okay.
Give him a jumper.
Now,
Yes,
it's based off 2 games. That's right, Whiskey Dick.
That's right. Me getting him in is based off 2 games. You're right. Yes.
And you're getting rid of his based off. So what if he gets another 140 and
because there's
189?
still 630,000 where I can get rid. So the idea was getting rid of Anderson for Sinclair, which is going to give me $100,000 to put into Setterfield to get a lead. That's a win-win for me. I'm making my team better with that stinky. He looks like Jeffrey Dahmer, and I don't like him.
I don't know who that is.
He's a serial killer and eats people, and I don't like him.
You liked him 2 weeks ago. He did
When
change.
he's not. If I would like him now, if he got me 120 in the last 2 weeks, but he has barely got me 120 accumulative over the last 2 weeks. So he's gone. He's breaking his 201, and I can't stand looking at a $630,000 Premo get me another 70. It's not happening.
But he could go 140 this week.
I have made my mind up, and he's done.
Okay, but I'm just trying to help.
You should have tried to help me not get him.
I did.
You didn't.
I didn't get it.
So why are you convincing me to keep him? I'm not.
Because you already got him now.
I don't want him anymore.
It's the buys are coming up. Premiums from Gold Coast and Geelong are hard to come by.
Yeah, the blunt truth, it is what it is, George. Laird and Sinclair are great ins. Thank you.
They are great ins. I'm not questioning the ins.
Anderson's going to score 150. Yes, probably. And he's still going to lose money. But yeah, a lot of people are supporting me. Jordy, shut up. I'm not changing it. It is what it is. Anderson doesn't tackle. You're right, Ben. He does not. If you watch that Melbourne game, he beasted. He did beast against Melbourne, but that was it. He hasn't done anything since. And I was looking at his... I don't know, Champ. I was looking at... What are your trades? Who's your big in?
I was actually going to get Lockie Neal, but I'm not doing that anymore because as juicy as all the Premos are and how tempting it is, I'm fixing up that disgusting bench. And I think that Roberts is going to go out for Humphrey. So I get a player that's on the Gold Coast. I get out someone who's not playing.
So you're just doing some downgrades?
I'm going to get Wardlaw, hopefully, and Humphrey in and get into... That's to get some more cash gen in and to kind of get more players playing around the buys as well.
I like it. I'll probably do that next week. Getting rid of just, because again, closer to the game, hopefully maybe Eddie Ford might get a game. Wardlaw could still maybe get dropped or not dropped, or something might happen. Or another rookie that's playing this week might get another game. So I want to clean up get some cash. I think next week's first buy, you shouldn't be getting any Primos. It's more of, because any Premo you get in, he's going to get
that's the same this week. But you can say that this week. You can say any Premo you get now is going to miss a game regardless. Any Premo you get next week is going to miss a game regardless.
Yes, but you want to kind of... I know what you're saying, but it's just how you set yourself up. Yes, it's true. Every Premo that you've got is going to miss. Yes. It's just...
Yes, I did make the Humphrey meme. That is exactly why I'm doing it, because Humphrey at 213.
Yeah.
But Humphrey at 280 something.
Just right.
I want it. I just want to... Thanks, Engo. Yeah. Engo says it's a good trade to everyone.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a premium. I'm still thinking of maybe getting Neal, but I really want to fix up the bench because the bench is the number one.
Yeah, that's it. He does. He looks like him. I'm just saying, whiskey. He just looks like him. That's all it is. All right, have a look at him because I've been looking at him for the last 2 weeks. That's what he looks like. George, let's go to captains. And
I think Anderson's a good shot to have a big... I think he's due for a big game.
Champ, he's gone. I'm getting led.
The doggies don't tag, so it's up there in Queensland, I think, as well.
But they get a lot of the ball. I get a lot of the ball, and and Anderson doesn't tackle. All right, boys. A lot of people are trying to ask questions already.
You take the questions, champ.
No, about captains and vice captains.
Okay, all right. Well, here we go.
I think we need to get straight into the best captains and vice captain options.
If it had everyone.
If we had everyone. Let's have a look first, Jules, about who everyone else in the SuperCoach world are captaining.
It's got to be a merit. Now, Jennifer S says, is Chinchota a trade out? Look, if you got Matty Roberts, I would trade out Matty Roberts before Chinchota.
The other one might get a game. Yep, next week. Who knows?
Who?
Chinchota.
Yeah, Chinchota could. Roberts is dead.
Yeah, Roberts is dead.
Who are the dead rookies? Davies in and out. Sub.
If you got Cowan, get rid of that guy. He's not going to get a game soon.
Yeah. So Chinchota, you think's above Cowan. Yeah. And look, you can justify trading out any rookie that's not playing. Just make sure it's the worst one, the one that's out for the longest. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's Roberts.
Yeah, make sure it's Roberts. Yeah, Roberts, Chester could be sub, but he's not. Even him on the field, he's not making any money. He's just gonna. They're all just crap.
Absolutely, that's it.
All right, George. This is a lot of people are still vice captaining Clayton Oliver, but I don't think that's true. So, the most vice captain player of this week, Gerald's, Marcus Bont, Goulden, Petrarca, Dacos, English, Marshall. I like the Marshall vice captain. Captain choice, everyone is going for Bont, Dacos, Marshall, Dunkles, English, let it be.
Who's
George,
the English
what do you
guy? I reckon the best vice captain option. I think you can't really go past the Petrarca Merritt kind of combo. If you got those two players, I think they're the safest. You think Petrarca's going to be playing a lot more midfield because Clary's gone. I would be staggered if he keeps his normal role as, half forward, half midfield.
So your best vice captain option is probably Petrarca.
And then just go straight captain onto Merritt. I think with O'Neill out, that even alleviates any concern of the tag. I mean, obviously, I think Duggan can do jobs, but I thought he might be out. Anyway, I think Merritt's...
All right, so a lot of people will probably already have Merritt because he's probably one of the most traded in players last week and potentially this week. Petrarca's a bit of a point of difference. George, give us another vice captain option if it's not Petrarca.
If it's not Petrarca...
Tell me someone, would you go Gould vice captain this week?
I probably wouldn't.
What are your projections? What could he score?
Well, he could score anything. Let's be realistic. Gould can score anything. But you know what? If Voss always does it, if someone gets off the chain, he always sends a tagger to them. Like, he never lets anyone go ballistic. So I'm not going to touch anyone that's got Carlton. As tempting would it be to watch a Gould vice captain on a Friday night and enjoy, a couple of drinks or whatever and sit down and watch Gould do his thing.
It's definitely a contested tackle game at the SCG, George. Do you think a Cripps or a Walsh can go berserk against Sydney this week?
They could, but I reckon they're a better option than Cripps and Walsh, especially with Cripps' latest form.
I'm just going to say one thing on each game. Who is the projected high scorer for this game?
Highest scorer of that game, I would say...
So Sydney Blues, who's the highest projected scorer?
I would say Walsh.
Walsh? Okay. I probably would say... Yeah, I agree. Walsh too.
Walsh? Okay.
Peanut. No. Walsh definitely. I like this game. So a lot of people would obviously have Marshall, Steels or Sinclair's against the clumsy Hawks.
Clumsy Hawks? They won by 116 points.
I know. It's a pretty good effort. I like Marshall, Jules. Do you like that as a vice captain option?
No.
Tell me why.
Because I remember the boys at Hawthorn done a pretty good job on Darcy. I think they're...
Oh, you watched that closely, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they've done a pretty good job. There are plenty of better options than them. A lot of people, even some people saying in the comments, Sarong versus Melbourne, I like it. They're not really accountable. But I think if Clary goes out and someone like a Sparrow, one of them types, they might be a little bit more accountable in the midfield for Clary's absence. Mason Ellsworthy says, would you guys trade out Asava Radagalia and Ashcroft for Butters and Wardle? That sounds amazing. I would love that. And Butters is another really good captain showing against Richmond.
Yes, I believe it could. Right, yeah. Well, that's another good one. Rose as well could be very good against them. All right, Jules. So highest projected score in the Hawthorn Saints game.
I reckon Sicily. I reckon Sicily will go 150.
Because of the kick-ins? Yep, that makes sense.
There's a lot to like about Sicily this week.
Yeah, I reckon Sinclair could go big again.
Sinclair?
Yeah. Sinclair could go big again. I don't think Steele's going to get a lot of tackles because...
I think Steele's going to destroy him.
Steele will destroy him, but I don't think they're going to get a lot of the ball to get a lot of tackles. Where Steele does.
I don't think Steele's going to get a lot of the ball.
Hawthorn is not going to get a lot of the ball for Steele to get those extra 10 tackles on him.
I don't think it's going to be a huge possession fest for St Kilda. They always have a close tight one.
Steele did nothing. Steele had 5 touches and 9 tackles and he was already on a 70.
Contested.
They were good tackles. All right, George, Melbourne, Freo, a lot of people, everyone's...
Petrarca, then Sarong.
Petrarca and Sarong.
They're the best two from that game, I think.
Projections?
Sarong can go 130.
Yeah.
Petrarca can go
160.
You can go huge. Yeah. It's at the G, so Petrarca every day of the week if you've got him, guys.
George, here's an interesting one that I thought maybe you'll pick your brain with.
But before that, Sarong was on doing a light training session on the track.
Yes, we do that.
I would vice captain Sarong cautiously because he tweaked his ankle a bit. Would be right to play, but anyone that's not at 100%, I wouldn't probably go near.
All right, George, Geelong GWS. Now, a lot of people, I would be thinking maybe could that Tom Green be a good vice captain option against Geelong's depleted midfield?
Yes.
Yeah.
He could, but I think Stewart's even better at Geelong. I think he could be a good option.
I'll say one of those two out of
them. There's no one that's better. Kelly's obviously gone. Yeah. More time for Cornelio and Green back down there.
All right, that's good options. George, Gold Coast, what Bont? Everyone's asking. George, what about the Bont against?
100% he's in my calculations. I don't have the Petrarcas and the Butters and the Mirrors of the world. He's definitely one I'm looking at. It's whether it's going to be a captain or vice captain. Bont is definitely within my calculations. Although A bit injured from last week. If I had better options, I'd stay away if I could. If I had a Libba, I'd probably even veer off to go on Libba over the Bont personally. But I know even McRae has a huge record against Gold Coast. So
interesting.
it would be nice to get McRae in, but I wouldn't touch him for vice captain and captain.
Obviously, this is the very obvious one, West Coast versus Eagle.
And Anderson.
No one's touching Anderson. All right, so clearly Merritt's the fan favourite for the captain or vice captain.
There's no one else in that game.
There's no one else. And I think, with Butters and Rose against Richmond's untaggable team, because they don't tag, Dacos versus North Melbourne Jewels.
I was thinking that, but then I remember some press conference, Radden flagged a bit of a tag.
Yep.
I don't know how effective that's going to be when you're losing by 100 points,
I agree. I don't think Dacos should be captain at all. I think it's
really?
I think it's going to be very hard for North Melbourne to even get it in the forward line, to be honest. So Adelaide versus Brisbane champ, my new shiny toy Laird, is he worth a captain? I don't think so.
He's been with injury back and forth, but my question is, Lockie Neal, would you risk a C on Lockie?
No, I think Sam Berry in the team, he loves to do
He's not in the team.
Sam Berry?
Yeah, he's out.
Did he get dropped?
Yep.
I read it out, didn't I?
Yep, you did. And I was listening.
Oh, I wasn't really even paying attention. Sam Berry is the sub, so
he got out.
He's out. Okay, could be a sub again. George, I think that's about it for the captains. I think I'm going to go for a Tom Green vice captain now that Sharp is out, and you can make anyone a vice captain.
Whiskey D says Dawson. I'm guessing you're a big Crow supporter, Whiskey D. I don't think Dawson, with his runs of a couple of 90s, is a very good option. Look, you'd have to be brave to put the actual C. I mean, with the VC, you can be a bit risky with a Tom Stewart, but with the C, you're going to want to put a bona fide midfield star as your captain, or even Dacos.
Totally, dude.
Now, that being said, Matty, what is your vice captain and captain going in?
I think I'm going to go, Tom Green and Laird at this point, I could change that captain a bit before. I'm thinking, I thought about Ryan Marshall, vice captain, but I'll take your advice, Jordy. I remember I bought in Ron Marshall last year when they played Hawthorn, and he got 170. So Ron Marshall, and that was against you in the prelim. And that was a fun game for me. But Marshall, that's probably why his predicted score's 148 because he got 170 last year against them. But that's when they didn't have a ruckman.
Well, they still don't. He's still the main ruckman. He's just not scoring as big as he did last year.
Yeah, well, he did score okay last week. So I don't know. I don't know. You convinced me not to because you thought...
Don't convince me not to. You just make your own decisions, Matty.
All right, cool. Tom Marshall's vice captain hopefully gets 170 again. George, who's yours?
I'm gonna go... It's either Bond vice captain or Dacos captain, or... I think that's it. Maybe I'll think about Dunks, but I probably wouldn't do it. Maybe vice captain Stewart into captain Bond. I think something like that is my way to go. I mean, I'm not going to bring in another premium, I don't think. Yeah. So I don't think so. If I was to bring in a Merritt, maybe I'd go captain Merritt, but we'll see.
Get Butters this week or wait, says Fraser. I wouldn't get him until he's lost all that money.
Well, look, Fraser, if you want to get Butters, you can't wait 4 weeks. That's got 180. He's going to be even more expensive. Even after the 3 weeks, he's got to make sure he gets a low number in that cycle, or he's still going to be losing that money. So if you want to get your Butters, you've got your heart set on Butters against Richmond, you can get another big score. Get him. I wouldn't pay over 620K for him. Sarong's even cheaper than him, would you believe it? So
no, I wouldn't.
Double Dummy says he's never going to be cheaper. So
yeah, well, that is also true. In a couple of weeks, it could be. But that 189, of course, he's not going to get any cheaper over the next 3 weeks. And yes, it's kind of now or never if you want to get Butters, because after the bye round, I think everyone's team should be settled with premiums. I don't think anyone should have anyone under an 85 average on the field. Maybe Ashcroft.
Look, Ashcroft is an interesting one. Like with his projections, right? He just got 124.
Yeah.
Now, if he gets an 87, he goes up his 35K. But then next week, when he has his bye, his break-even's 80. So that could be prime time to get rid of him.
Which is when his buy comes. Perfectly, yeah.
But some people are planning to keep Ashcroft through his buy.
Interesting. Well, if you hold on to him, he's got 124. Today he'll get his next score, and then he'll have the buy. So he still will have... Yeah, it'll be time to get rid of him pretty much next week.
Sounds good.
Definitely. But I don't think I could either get rid of him on the first buy. I think I think I might keep him for a couple of rounds in the bye, but yeah, depending what he gets this week, champ. Because if he gets another 100 plus, like you're not going to get rid of him next week,
Why no?
would you?
No.
Nah.
Probably not. So I guess it all depends on what he scores. He's playing the last game, and there's no more games at the Gabba, Matty, where he scores really big. So who knows? He could have a big drop off and time to get rid of him.
Definitely, George.
Look, Matty, I don't know. Who do you like more out of Lockie Neal or Merritt this week?
Merritt.
Just to bring in your team for good, including bye rounds, including all that kind of stuff.
Oh, then Neal.
Because it's just the bye?
Yes, you just said it.
Yeah, I mean...
I like the fact that there's 4 teams having a bye. It's still a win because you still should have enough players to field the rest of your field.
Well, some people like Jamie can't even field a team this week and no one's on a bye.
Yes, that's sad. It's because, well, Jamie, I've got a lot of rookies injured. Chinchida, Chess is a sub. Oliver's on the bench. Sharp is dropped. Roberts is dropped. The only rookie that's playing is Seamus Mitchell on my field.
I think he's a great rookie to actually be playing. I think, as I said, with the Saints leaking a lot of points to defenders, do you think Weddle and Mitchell are going to be in for some pretty decent scores? If you're tempted to play one rookie over the other, I reckon just try and get as many of the Hawthorn backman as you can.
Well,
Sicily, I reckon, is a great vice captain option, mate.
Well, but based on the players that are not playing, I'm actually putting P in it as an emergency this week because he's playing the first round. If he scores shit against Sydney, Samson Ryan's gone straight in, hopefully, and then I'll have to play Samson Mitchell. We can see who does better, actually, because they're both playing the first and second
What
games.
if Davey's the sub?
No, because Nick Madden will be going up and down. Right. So whoever scores better, either P net and Mitchell.
Always up to us some sneaky tricks, Matty.
Always doing some sneaky tricks. But Clayton Oliver again, guys, if you came in late, Oliver is not getting traded by me or George for a number of great reasons. Jordy, what else? Because I'm getting tired and I want to go home.
I think that's about it, Matty. So we'll turn it over to you guys. If you've got any questions, make sure you ask them now before Matty gets all tired and cranky. So sad that my Rode mic cord is broken.
I can't believe you did that. Can I hear you still?
Yeah, because it's just without the cord now.
Okay, cool. I got 3 on the bench.
How many on the bench do you have playing after your trades?
1.
One player only on the bench that's playing. The rest of them non-playing
this
rookies?
Week? This week?
Yeah, this week.
Yes.
You only got one playing rookie on the bench?
Yes.
Oh, how many do I have? 1, 2. Yeah. I wouldn't even count that.
You've got 2.
Well, I'm going to make 3. If you're 3, if you include Davey, but you don't, and probably 4 because I want to trade out Roberts. So yeah, I think the bench is starting to become a big problem. So that's why I'm tackling it in and just holding off on.
And that's okay. Like I'm not expecting any because the rookies on my bench. Well, Samson, Ryan, Chase Jones is going to go. So these are easily going to turn into Premos. Chin Trotter, I think, will be another one to go. Because you only need $100,000 into Chase Jones to get someone good. For me, anyway. You know what I mean, George?
I know what you mean, Juves. Can you go and see who's the most traded out players this week?
Sure, we can do.
Because I want to see if everyone's on the same mind. I reckon it's going to be Wardlaw's, Merritt's.
Yeah, 100%. Wardlaw's and Merritt. Wardlaw's and the other North player. So most traded in players, everybody. Yeah, top 2 North boys. George Wardlaw and Eddie Ford. Coming in the top 3 premiums, Merritt, Butters, and Laird. I like it. Humphreys coming in 6th. Sinclair's coming in 7th. Neil 8th. Weddle 9th. Calebsarong 10. So I've got, I'm
So a lot of people going early on the North boys. I don't think North boys and Humphreys.
I think there's no options though. That's the reason. There's no bubble boys. You have to go on them thinking they're going to get games. And we all know what happened to Drury when we went in early. So
now with next week, would you be tempted to trade out people like Madden and stuff like that?
No, Madden's good. Madden stays. I think I'm going to be getting rid of. I'm going to get rid of dead rookies for Warlords and Fords, and then saving that money, not doing anything for the next buy. Just seeing some break evens, and probably trading. I reckon one buy round. I'm not going to be doing any trades. I'm thinking it's going to be the Gold Coast buy.
Now, Matt Anton says Parker or Warner, Matty. I already know your answer to this.
Oh yeah, Parker.
It's Parker, and I'm going to go Parker as well. He's older, but the inconsistency of Warner would drive me absolutely nuts. Matt Zeebs.
Yeah.
And I think at that, Matty, I think we should wrap it up.
I think we should.
If you're new here, guys, please do subscribe. We do these ones every so often. And if you already are subscribed, we love you
Love
lots.
you. Oh, yeah, sorry, that was my fault. So we love you anyway. I was just looking at some comments. Boys are just saying, yep, agreed, Matty. A couple of boys agreeing with me. Jamie says he agrees with me too, Jamie Barrow. Thinking of trading in Madden. I traded in someone like Madden last year and it's a great trade.
Was it Madden?
Could have been. No, it was someone else. It was Dominic, the Carlton 102,000 ruck forward, Dom something. Anyway,
Okay.
it was a good pick.
All right. Well, thanks heaps. Shout out to all the boys with the coffee shouts and the Bruce for doing a super chat. Appreciate all you boys tuning in. We hope you have a great week. Keep an eye out on the Facebook page for all
Definitely,
the late
guys.
And yeah, we'll see what happens. Let me know if you like this new live or you prefer the other ones, guys, because we do what you like most of the time. If your question didn't get answered because we're too busy doing other stuff, just chuck it in the comment section and we'll get back to you, all right? All right. See you guys.
Dropping the ball. Too high. All right, see you guys. Love you. Bye. Bam!
And be gentle with this. I think